What's going on, guys? Is Snorlaxus here, and first up just want to say I'm sorry. I know I said I was going to start uploading the PBF after I uploaded my kind of team recap video, but shortly after that, I got sick for a few weeks, and then right as I got healthy again, school started back up, and now I'm sick again. So I've been kind of out of commission for a while, but starting to feel at least a little bit better. I probably still sound like crap, so if I sound different, that's why. My throat and nose and all that great stuff is still very much messed up. So we'll see how this all goes. But so this is the week one. I know I want to do some live commentary on some of the battles, but both weeks one and two are already done. So I'll just do a quick post com on both of those, and hopefully for week three, which will be this upcoming week here, I'll be able to do a live battle and hopefully record that, which will be fun. But to start out here, this week one, I have a very well known opponent in the battling community. SebbyVGC is what he goes by, and I know on Discord and I believe on Twitter as well. I'll link some of his stuff in the description if I manage to remember to do that. And so he ends up bringing Landorus T, Greninja, Azumarill, Reuniclus, and then 2 months I really did not prep very much for, and I definitely should have, being Crabominable and Camerupt. And then I brought my setup Thunderous T, I had Mega Gallade, I believe I was Expert Belt Hydreigon, I can't remember what my item was, as this was a couple weeks ago. I have Empoleon, which was Shuka, Beltank, and then I believe Scarf Blacephalon. And so yeah, my plan with this battle basically is full on offense. Like I said, I was sick when this one was going on. I didn't have very much prep time, didn't feel very great, and I definitely did not put as much time into prep as I should have. As you'll see, it does not go quite as I had hoped for week one. So let's just get this battle started here. So to start out, he starts out with Lando T, and I start out with my Hydreigon. Like I said, this Hydreigon is not scarfed, and but it is uh, EV to be faster than his Landorus T. So this is kind of my time where I'm like, all right, if he's scarfed here, he's probably going to U-turn. I'll take a lot of damage, but it'd be very good for me to know that he's scarfed just for later on in the match. So I decided to stay in and go for the Surf, because if he's not, Surf has a chance to take him out. But he makes a very good switch into his Azumarill, which was kind of expected. Looking at the team he brought, I decided that my Hydreigon set really wasn't the greatest. So I went ahead, just went for my Charge Beam, which is what I had for a Azumarill, just to damage it, make sure it got below half to pop that berry if he had it, so he couldn't set up very easily later on in the match. And he does end up just taking me out with a player off, which is just good. Just get out what would have been a huge threat for him if he had brought some of the other monsters I was expecting. I definitely should not have let it go down as quickly as it did, knowing he still had Reuniclus left, which you'll see why in a little bit here. But this gives me a chance to go in my Thunderous. And this is potentially where I could have really made this my game if I had started using my setup moves. I believe I had both agility and nasty plot. I know for sure I had agility. And I just go right ahead here and go for the Thunderbolt, though, assuming that he would either sack it or go into Camerupt, which he doesn't know, though. I have the Him Power Water, which had the role to potentially kill. Unfortunately, it didn't. But he just goes to go down after he sets up some rocks. And then here's where it starts to get a little bit interesting. He goes into that Lando. I decide to switch out into my Meltank just to take the hit, and it does very well. So I know he's locked in. He's probably going to switch out, so I take this chance to throw off a Toxic, which he does have the Magic Guard Reuniclus, so it doesn't do anything. I make a hard switch into my Blacephalon, assuming he's going to go for just like a Psychic move or something, knowing that I don't have my Hydreigon anymore. It would do very good damage, but unless he's heavily invested, it would not kill my Blacephalon. But he goes ahead and sets up a Trick Room, which I did not prep for Trick Room. It really didn't cross my mind during the match, knowing he had stuff like Greninja and then priority on Azumarill, and I assumed he'd bring a Scarfland over to my team since it did pretty well. And I just didn't really prep for Trick Room. So this is an issue, and obviously, as he goes out into his Azumarill to get the free switch into this Crabominable. I have never faced a Crabominable before. This didn't even cross my mind that he would bring it. But as you can see, an Ice Hammer does 66% with Life Orb to a Fire type. Obviously, it's a very frail Fire type, but just regardless, it was a huge problem. So knowing that I have just to waste this Trick Room to even have a chance this match, I sack my Meltank because it wasn't very helpful offensively. And then here I kind of make a switch back into my Empoleon, trying to catch the Ice Hammer, which he unfortunately does go for, just so I can have at least something going here. But he just goes right back into that Reuniclus, and even though I do have a little bit of offensive investment, it's definitely not enough to matter as far as this Reuniclus goes. But I will go ahead and set my rocks, just hoping to get some damage on the rest of his mons. But he does show he brought the Focus Blast, which was unfortunate, because if he just had even Shadow Ball or Psychic moves, it would take him a long time to wear down my Napoleon, and on a switch of his or something, I could switch into either my Megalade or my Thundurus just to get that offense going for me and potentially still have a chance at this game. But he plays it very smart. He has a Focus Blast, and then it forces me to go into my Mega Glade, which unfortunately I predicted a switch there. I can't remember what into what, and actually I think I just didn't even have a knockoff or anything in Smash for some reason. I think that was the problem there. So I'm forced to just basically sack my Mega Glade here to get rid of that Uniclus, but he is able to get that Trick Room back up. So it's just an easy switch lane into that Crabominable just to finish off the match with just two more moves there. It was a very well played match on the part of Sebi. He's a very experienced, very talented battler. I didn't have super high hopes going into the match, just knowing, in my opinion, he's a much higher caliber battler than I am. And like I said too, like he puts a lot of time and effort into his matches. He's very smart. And I was, like I said, I was sick. I was busy. I just didn't have the time or the matchup that I was hoping for. So it ended up not being a very good week one. Luckily, I did knock out a couple of mons, so it was just a 3-0 to start out the season. Very easy to come back from. Obviously, not the start I wanted, but it is what it is. This is how league works. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. So that was week one. I will be uploading week two potentially the same day as this one just to get them both up, since obviously I don't upload a lot. It's just fun to try and get them up while I can. So you'll be looking for that one, and then hopefully sometime this week or next week I will be able to record live week three, and you'll see how week two goes when I get that one up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.